All right, guys, here we're going to talk about Season 4, Episode 16 of The Twilight Zone. So what'd you think about this episode, Lee?
I didn't love it, you know. This is more in line with what I want out of a zone, right?
But return to science fiction.
Yeah. Not the,
always good.
Not if you believe hard enough, if you wish upon a star, you can go back and be the queen of Egypt, right? It's
not my favorite style. Yeah. So yeah, it was nice in that terms.
Stuff there. Yeah.
It goes in some directions I didn't think were perfect, but it has a set that I like, an idea, a premise that backs it up. It throws off some false flags on ways I think the episode could have gone better, but you know.
No, it opens right. We're experiencing some tough conditions. We have a radio tower. We have a water line. Everyone's sweaty and dirty, right, and all that. Very quickly, we are revealed to not be on Earth.
Yep, we got two suns.
Two suns that rage forever in the sky. They tell us several times. It's very important to them. There's always two suns, motherfucker. Yeah, this isn't just a bonus.
A kid at one point goes, "What's night?"
Yeah, right.
Because they don't have night. That's interesting.
Yes, exactly. The radically different. Night only happens once every several years, and if Vin Diesel's not there, you're screwed.
Oh, you're fucked. Yeah, so the episode is not the best. It does taper off where it becomes more about a person and their personal demons about wanting to be in charge and like, you know, that bullshit.
Right. The guy who's in charge of this settlement tries to keep that control of the settlement, even when rescue arrives in the form of this spaceship to take them back to Earth and all that stuff. And it's really about the downfall of this leader that becomes like drunk with power. But that's my major issue. Is at some point one guy basically turns to the other and says, "Oh, he's the leader, he's drunk with power," and that's it. That's what happens.
Yeah, right? It's very true, and you hate to see it, but occasionally here you go. It does seem like he's only in power because he remembers Earth and can string them along with the ideas and make them chant the same phrases over and over again.
It's a little culty, which is cool. It has a weird vibe.
He does appear to also be a doctor, so there's a little bit of sway there, and you know maybe he's good with his words. He does keep people in line, and that is needed in a situation where you're only a step away from really death because they're not working on shoddy machinery. They have rationed food and water. If everyone were to get a little bit out of line, you could easily spiral down to control.
I think he's got some good ideas because there's a point where he basically someone else is like, just let us fuck around, do whatever we want, and he goes like, oh, whatever you want, like the young will steal from the old and the strong will steal from the weak. No, you need me here to like dole it out and all that stuff.
And it's true in that scenario they did need him,
but he's not being like a crazy king. it's not the island of Dr. Moreau, right? He's actually doing it.
He was a good leader for there.
Yes.
And like everyone has a situation where they will rise, but you have to know that you can't hold on to that forever, especially just to be in a worse scenario. So like,
yeah, that's when it goes crazy, because he's basically like, oh, captain of like the new spaceship, don't be ridiculous. We're all going to live on a commune on Earth like this. And he was like, have you checked with like everyone? And he's like, I don't need to check. And he's like, do me a favor.
It goes without saying.
Just float it. Just get a read the room a little bit. Get a feel, and it goes poorly for him, right?
Yeah, you would think there'd be a good chunk of people because if they've been on this thing for 30 years, there's probably a number of them that have never seen Earth and may be scared of the idea of being alone. Not that they don't want to experience things, but I'm surprised that there was no one on his side. And not when he said, who wants to stay, I'm staying. When it was like to live together there, you'd think there'd be a good amount going like, well, yeah, I don't have any other family. This is all I know.
No, some of them were too young or they were born there maybe, right? It's been 30 years. So there's like a 24-year-old who's like, I don't even know what an Earth is. Like she wants to go to Wisconsin. I don't even know what that is. So like,
exactly.
I need, maybe I do need a transition period.
And maybe you did have, like, we had family, blah, blah. Well, you're like 35. The family you had may be dead.
Yeah, no.
So, I do like they float the idea of reparations that like, oh, they'll give us this, that, and the other thing. And I'm like, would they? I'm like, maybe. Depends why you went in the first place. Like if you went voluntarily across the board here, I don't know they're giving you shit. If they sent you and we like abandon your ass, yeah, we owe you a little something, something. But
so yes, he makes a very sweet deal and he's very accommodating, right? And some of the red herrings from other episodes come up, like 150 folks, right? And he's like 187, and you're immediately like, oh, wait a minute, do we have to fight to the death to pick who's gonna stay or who's gonna go? No. So I was waiting for a twist like that, like, oh, they're not settlers. This is a crazy, Fallout style experiment where they put these people people there and lied to them, and he's just shit, and he's afraid they'll find something. Oh.
I thought some lies because the guy has this big smile, the captain of the ship coming to save them, and he's like he cuts off a guy's leg. He's like, so it's cooler downstairs. Tell me about that. And it didn't seem like he wasn't like, oh, I'm sweating. Could we talk down there? It was like, let me know more about your operation because I've got nothing going on here, and I'm going to take this
in great detail. Tell me how you survived.
It seemed like some underhanded shit was about to happen, but it doesn't.
I thought perhaps Earth, because he actually says, and we never had the hydrogen war you were probably scared of when you left. So I'm like, oh shit, we did have the hydrogen war.
Yeah.
He's like a space pirate who's like a space Nazi pirate, and he's just trying to conquer these people and take stuff from them or do something. Oh, it's great. There's nothing happening.
You expect something more than nothing. No, ultimately, it's they were just people working for the government, coming to save them. I wanted something like, why did it take 30 years? Like, what is that a business about? Because it didn't seem like you ever seemingly had if you had the ability to communicate, because you got a message saying we're coming. At some point, you said, "Hey, we need help," and presumably you didn't wait 30 years for that. You said something like year one. There's no water. It's so hot. We're trapped here. Help me. And they never go back to that.
Yeah, there's a whole Walking Dead style people just man this radar tower all day, every day. And they said 2 months ago they got a message, but they couldn't fully communicate or something like that. But so 28, 29.8 years later, they were just like, you know what? Let's check in on them. And they did the whole thing. Yes, that's weird.
No, very, very, very strange. You pictured something like, oh, time moves differently on this planet, and it would be like, no, we got here as quick as we could. It's been 2 months.
Right,
we left 3 months ago, or something.
Pocket dimension or something. There's a gravity well that causes time dilation of your.
Based on their grasp of science, none of that would be beyond me, because there's a meteor shower part where people are like, bee stung me. I'm like, what the fuck? Meteors fell from fucking the atmosphere.
When he shouts meteor storm, and then fucking.
It breaks somebody's arm, it hits someone in the face, and doesn't cut a perfect hole in them. They're not like, I'm dead now.
Right, they're not perforated
so I wouldn't expect there to be a thing like, oh, the gravity's different here. Time moves 50 times faster. That's fine. Or we're on this side of the galaxy. Who the hell knows?
Yeah, those early red herrings and some of the strangeness with the dates and the timeline made me think something was brewing. Something was waiting to come out as here's why it doesn't make sense. It's all a lie.
What's cool is this takes place nowish.
1991 was the year.
That was the year they landed. Oh, and then was 30 years later.
Oh, because it took time to get there or something. Yeah, exactly.
So this is relatively
somewhere this is happening right now as we speak. Exactly.
Probably.
Yeah.
Yeah, it wasn't the best episode. It ends kind of poorly, where it is just this man who, fucked himself because he wanted this and that, and now he's trapped. Too. He's almost like the guy, I don't know, time enough at last. He's just all alone with nothing.
I had time now. I could have read all those books. And he's like, I made a mistake. I got what I wanted. Yeah. He's basically like they make him into the most pathetic loser ever.
Pretty much.
Where he tries to keep power, and then finally, and not even after it's too late. He can see the ship still. He's like, don't leave me. It's this fucking it's very sad, and that would be sad if there was more of a I didn't really get a sense to be sympathetic with him.
It's a different kind of sad, right? Where it's you're pathetic sad, not oh, this is sad. Right. You know what I mean?
I'm you got what you wanted, asshole. Yeah. They also say don't expect a fetching committee.
And they do fetch him.
Literally, they're all right, this is our fetching committee, let's go. And the next morning or whatever.
Well, I think that was to try to we're going to say that because that way he'll actually show up. And when he doesn't, they're I didn't show up. Well, we only have 15 minutes. We do have to leave.
Yeah, right. Like the orbital thing. We have this is our window.
You waited 30 years, bro. You can't wait. What? But fuck that guy. But literally, you did just death sentence that guy. He's dead there now.
Literally everyone else went. If there were factions of people who were this is all I've ever known, I'm scared.
Yeah, it's actually surprising to me. And he does mention he's I never took a wife. I never did a blah blah. I was taking care of these people.
I'm married to the game.
Yeah, and you'd think there'd be at that point somebody would profess their love for him or something would happen. No.
Yeah, right. Like this could have been turned into a weird speech because they say something you don't have to live together and share everything on Earth. You can tell everyone else to fuck off. I thought this was going to have something to do with American individual spirit or something weird like that. And there could have been a speech or something like that where they make him out like your way of life is bad, our way of life is good, or some.
His shit gets real sad though, even before it gets really sad when he's just in the caves saying shit, and the new captain guy comes oh, we should talk about this. He goes, that's for another time. We should talk about this now. La 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 la. And I'm nobody's paying attention and they're asking him about things. I'm like,
says,
oh, it's sad.
Let's go play baseball, and he's shouting like, no, let's stay where it's nice in the cave and sing. Let's show him how we sing, folks. And it's very sad,
It's like when a new kid comes to school and it's like, oh, people like the new kid more than this kid. Right? I have to act out and do things.
I'll never forget the time DJ Qual showed up at my school with his leather jacket, and then I wasn't cool anymore. It was awful.
Yeah, he knocked you out in the hallway. I remember that.
He was the new guy.
Spitting your tuba.
Okay, so all in all, this is not one of your favorites, I assume? Like, where you
No, it had a lot of potential to be pretty good, but it's in like the middle half because there's some that are just so dog shit.
It's better than a lot of them, yes. But this is not one that I think I'm going to be like, this requires a 3-hour video essay to unpack the themes. Like, it's not really. Sad guy.
But I thought, as far as the hour-long ones go, it held my attention the whole time, which a lot of these don't. So it's in the top half. Not even more than top half, like it's in the top
50.
Like 20% of the hour-long episode.
I did not even think about that, and that's a great point. It did not feel like this could have been 10 minutes. Like,
I thought they used the time appropriately. It felt like a good little movie.
Absolutely.
All right, guys, that's our thoughts on this. Let us know in the comments below what you thought about it. Don't die in a fire, and we'll see you next time.
Hello, internets. I just love watching Justdaggers. If you've enjoyed this video as much as I have, click that subscribe button. Peace out, homies.